pick number 3 of JNL.
Experiencing technical difficulties. Getting this show started.
Me and Roger Brathville from Europe, so the crew's back. We know Kale's been lonely. So,
Tierney was here, yeah.
But we're ready for
about something.
Fresh new show.
Yep.
Brock, explain what we're doing.
Alright, so we're trying to cut down, well, at least right now, we're trying to cut down on the length of this episode, because we did one earlier and it was really long. So
long.
You want to know it's 48 minutes.
Some of you don't share our affinity for wiffle ball. But
Yeah, so we decided we're just
And then the second time we tried, it was computer problem. There's a lot of inside jokes going on. Now you're not
This
gonna
is take
understand.
3, so we're just going to do one section right now. We're going to go through all the teams,
It's a good section.
and we're going to give our advice for these teams going into JL 14.
And we should say next Saturday, the day before the JL 14, we're gonna do the pitch live on location, like we always do for that one because it's special. And I don't know what we're gonna talk about. We'll find stuff. Tierney will be there for that one. Tierney's not with us.
We'll probably do some pretty
okay, on to the thing.
Yeah, let's
That's
go.
how it becomes 48 minutes long. Okay.
You guys are watching this in like probably the afternoon right now. This is really late right now, and I gotta work in the morning.
Okay.
This is work.
First team.
Okay, go. Go.
First team is the underdogs. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Just get
Wait, did
Adam.
we say what this section is about?
Yeah, I already told
Okay.
you. Just get Adam to show up. That's
Yeah,
my advice.
well,
Who's next?
He's confirmed he's gonna
Well,
be in
that's what they
uniform
thought
for the
last
underdogs.
time too, and there was no Adam.
Yeah, I still question what happened there. I think he held out.
What's your advice?
My advice would be Josh just swing back because I love Josh and he plays hard, but he's not the best at making contact and he has a lot of strikeouts anyway. So, I mean, it's just more efficient probably if he just wails away.
Yeah.
Because what's the worst that could happen? It's already kind of not great.
Okay, Ty.
Granny, don't pay attention to your team and spot the free agents at the tournament and go on Swing Taco. Because that's your best bet for the future of the underdogs.
Well,
Okay. Next up is Rapids. Ty, why don't you start?
your team.
My team, I would say, just I don't
Do
know.
you think you're just perfect?
No, can't. No.
I got one.
Okay.
Jordan, don't be a lazy fielder.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jordan is not a
would be-
natural fielder. He's been a pitcher his whole career in this league. He's
Yeah.
going to mosey over at ground balls, and they're going to roll the triples. I mean, you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Mine would be Ty. Don't try and throw too
Okay. Mine's probably just be aggressive on the bats, and because the bats are bigger, pitching mound's back.
Right.
Don't just sit on.
Coach
the ball.
Ty.
That sounds so official.
Alright, next up is the Lynx.
Aggressive.
The Lynx. I'll start this one. Sign another player because you only have one right
Yeah, the rumor on the street is they're going to sign some kid named Wyatt that's from Tootle. I don't know anything about him. It hasn't happened yet. Apparently it's close to happening. But, I mean, yeah, that'd help. You need that.
Yeah.
Oh, but another word on the street was that. You know what I'm talking about. Was that Jolene was thinking maybe, no matter who they got, maybe she'd try out Steve as a pitcher.
Oh
Just don't do it.
gosh!
Is that your word of advice?
Well, yeah. There are a lot of word of advices for the Lynx right now. That franchise is going in the toilet bowl. But there was such a good franchise at one point. It's just trash.
Just like this show is going down the drain. Ty, what's yours?
My advice is Joe Lynn needs to throw some money at some free agents during the tournament because they're going to be so bad this tournament either way. So
She used to be a money thrower. Maybe I like her money throwing arm got tired. I just let it in on some kid named Wyatt. Watch this gonna win like MVP now.
next to you.
No, we didn't know who Jordan was. Okay.
I mean, I did.
Next up is the fog.
Oh my gosh.
Gail starts.
My advice for the fog.
Yeah.
Well, I have personal advice for Darren for starters.
What's that?
Well, the single line's a lot closer. He's gonna have a lot more slide kicking opportunities. Do some highlight reels.
Okay.
And he's had ACL surgery in the past, so just take it easy. It's just more football. You know he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, he will.
Brock,
That was your advice?
I feel like I thought of one more.
that's good enough advice. Brock, what's yours?
I think ours are the same, and that would be Lucas Myers develop a second pitch.
Yeah.
It's not the drop
that,
ball,
that was mine too.
like a fastball.
Oh, I know what mine was. It was to have Aaron.
Yeah.
Just
Uh,
give Aaron an inning or two. Just put him out there and pitch him because you never know. He could be good. And I mean, look at their schedule. What's it gonna hurt? They're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna.
Yeah.
With the Bambinos going all the garbage.
Okay. Next up, Cobras. Kill, why don't you start? Your team.
Well, we need to take care of business in the first two games of the regular season, so that in the third game against the underdogs, we can pitch Dad, Kevin, and let Michael Sullivan rest before the playoffs, so he can do well in the playoffs. He's gonna do well in the playoffs.
Very important.
He's gonna break the mold in the playoffs this season. I'm gonna go deep.
Mine would be. Hey, I hope you do. Mine would be. Make sure Bryce is in the field at all times, and don't put him in the batting lineup.
if you guys make the national conference, even if it's against the Rapids, even though I don't want them to, Michael, you have to win. You have to win. If you lose 3 times in a row in the national conference finals, you will be by far the most scrutinized player in JL. So that's my advice.
I didn't say it this time. You got mad at me last time when I said. You got mad last time I
Well,
said.
he's on your team.
Yeah.
But I was just being an analyst of the game. I know. He got upset. Threatening.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, the Bison.
Hey, Bison. Bison. Let me tell you, James French. I mean, he's not doing like a good job, but you are trying. You're finally trying. So good job. I've given you a lot of crap over the last couple seasons, deservingly. But you're doing much better. You cut yourself. Great move. You should cut Ty Franklin. That's my advice. And then sign some other people. That's my advice.
Got 2 roster spots. Sign yourself and sign yourself. It's his team. He should be on the team.
He can sign himself, but don't play.
Well, he can take himself out of the lineups. And sign another. You got 2 roster spots. Go get another rookie that's good. You went and got McKinley Franklin. I think he's going to be a good addition to help the team out. It's not that hard to find rookies, guys. I mean, it's really not.
Same thing, but more specific. Get a pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying earlier, get on your Facebook and scroll through your friends on Facebook, and you're gonna find, oh, hey, he has a baseball background. Maybe he doesn't have a baseball background, but he's a good athlete. There's so many people out there, and people always, it's hard to find good rookies. It's not that hard.
Don't we on our website have people who have contacted us?
Well, yeah, we have people that are listed as have joined the league, either on a team or not on a team, but it's not that hard to get someone to join it. No. Hey, come play on the whatever. It's easy.
All right, next up, Missouri Express.
Kill.
have Sean throw a game, just one, against the Bison. Because they play them. They got lucky.
Yeah.
And it'll rest Kyle's arm. And Sean's a good enough pitcher, it won't matter. And the other thing would be, they got to find the motivation again. I think, not motivation, but especially, and this comes from Kyle directly. Because going into JL12 when Kyle was rookie, he was like super like motivated to take over the league, and he did. It was phenomenal. I don't think that performance will ever be topped again in terms of like sheer dominance. Like someone might come along that's better than him, but like him compared to the competition was so utterly like just gap. And a lot of that was because he prepared for it like really hard, and then he got it, and they dominated, and then he came into 13 like it's just gonna happen again. Kind of since I got there, I don't think he really practiced at all, from what I heard. And then he got his butt whipped by Nate and Bambinos twice, and kind of got it, kicked back a little bit. So I think they need to reclaim that, and if he does, I mean, because he didn't play as good in 13 as he did in 12. But if he can get back, I mean, they'll be just fine. They'll probably win it. They're the favorites anyway, but they got to get that back.
Yeah.
And it starts with Kyle.
Yeah. My advice would be for Kyle as well. That would be practice from the new distance. Because we have played a couple games, and it does make a big difference with distance being longer and the strike zone being smaller. So I would say go practice at least a couple times.
Yeah, advice for every pitcher, throw in junk, because the strike zone is slightly smaller, and the distance is like, it's a big difference. So throwing junk is like, you kind of have to get used to it just because of how much,
We just did one thing real quick. Me, Ty Brock, and Timmy played a game like a few days ago or something with all the new rules and everything, and we're like above average players, and the final score was 10-5.
Yeah.
There was way more action. It was really good. You guys are going to really like it. It's so much better than it was before. So, yeah, we just want to say that real quick.
Did we get all of ours in? Next up is the Bambinos.
Well, they have really just had a completely disastrous offseason. We were saying earlier, like, if there was the worst possible scenario could happen in the offseason, like right after they won JL 13, it'd be like, oh, well, probably Nate Williamson isn't available for the team and Tyler Trevor's not available for the team. And that's exactly what happened. So they're coming in with their whole team is guys that weren't even on the championship team now. It's Titus, Colton Titus, and Lane Traver. I mean, I would say just don't worry about the pressure of being the champs because they weren't. Those guys aren't the champs. The team is, the franchise is, but not them. They had nothing to do with it. But everyone's going to be wanting to beat them anyway, still, just because it's the Bambinos.
Yeah.
So, but for them, I would just flush that out. Lane and Colton, don't even identify with that. Just try to act like you got something to prove again, not just trying to protect something that you weren't even a part of. So, yeah.
Okay. I would say try and throw Lane for a game. Everyone's talking about Colton and how he's going to be pitching, but I think Lane could actually be pretty decent pitcher.
Mine's kind of the opposite of you. Mine would be to stick with Colton as your pitcher, even if he maybe struggles for the first game. Because I think he's going to be pretty good, and he might need a game or two to get going. The other thing I'd say is try and get another player, but if you're not totally confident that he can actually help you, then I'd just stick with those two.
They are, though. Brian says they're working on getting another player that he's really confident. And Brian's a good evaluator of talent. At least he has a pretty squeaky clean record of that with all the players they brought in so far. So
yeah,
I trust whatever he says. And they're apparently close to signing another guy.
Next up is the Waves, the West Coast Waves. I'm just gonna change your team colors.
Where to start?
Is that your one?
That's my advice.
Okay, mine would be to stop being wannabe Fogs. They want to be the Fog. They just talk trash all the time on the social stuff. It's just like, and it just feels forced. It doesn't feel like the Fogs is so genuine.
Yeah.
Like you just read it and you're like, oh yeah, that's Darren and Jacob being Darren and Jacob. The Waves is like, I don't know. It's like
I think I said
it
this
just
on the,
feels.
or it's like they want attention. Almost.
It's like
I don't
they're
know.
just like begging for, and I don't know. It just
Giving them for the wrong reasons.
stop doing that.
Get a different pitcher, because everyone on your roster is not a good pitcher. Austin Gillum is now your ace. That might be worse than Elf and Anthony. So I would just say, try and find a better pitcher.
Okay.
I mean, batting is gonna be like having good batters is gonna totally escalate in terms of like value now with all these new rules and bats and stuff. But like, you still gotta have a pitcher. You have to have a pitcher. It's like quarterback. You have to have one, or you're gonna have no chance.
All right. Next up is the Storm. I'm gonna say for the Storm, they have Tyler Hudson and Kyle King right now. I would say use the roster space and go try and get another pitcher. Even if he's not an awesome one, but someone so Tyler doesn't have to throw every game the whole season.
Yeah.
I think that would.
Well, I think Kyle Klingman, he told us earlier today that he's gonna probably sign himself to the team. He's an all right batter. I wouldn't really play him anywhere else, but I'd be, if I was like managing that team or something, I'd be fine putting him in the batting lineup for them.
I'd be okay with that.
It sounds like
trying
he's
to get
gonna
the
sign
team
himself
first,
though, so
but-
it's pretty inevitable he's probably gonna be on the team. But yeah, then they still have another roster spot though. Go get another person. I mean, like I said a few minutes ago, it's not that hard. It's really, people overthink it.
Yeah.
They really do. If it's not like a home run, they don't go for it. It's like, you know how hard it is to find those? Yeah. I mean, some of the people that have turned out to be really good in this league are the people that you didn't think about when they were rookies being like that. You just went on going and thought, they might be all right.
Yeah.
So just, I mean, there's really nothing that can go wrong. If they suck, you cut them after, or you bench them. It's
you
just,
can't bench someone.
and you never know when you're gonna get a diamond in the rough player like that, like the Bambino's getting Tyler Traver. No, it turned out really. I mean,
But it doesn't even need to be someone that good. I just think it needs to be someone that they can trade off.
No, I mean, there's some people bring so many different. Like, look at I'm just trying to think of something. Like Bryce Armo or Steven. Like, they don't even have to be good at everything. Just something that you can put them on the field for, and they can help you. Like those two with fielding or something. Like, they have no business being better, but they're gonna make plays in the field for you. So I mean, you got a roster spot. Use it.
Or like Colby's good batter. Ty, what's yours?
Mine was the same. I was gonna say maybe go and look for another pitcher, but Tyler, you gotta practice, dude. I mean, I think Tyler could be a decent pitcher, but you gotta practice, man. Because if you pitch like you did in the last tournament with these new bats from that distance, you are going to get lit up.
Well, anyone will. I mean,
anyone will. Yeah, but his is just like slow pitch, slow softball. So that's my guess.
Next up is the Washougal Wrecking Crew. Go. Me? Yeah. I'm gonna say Sean Guthrie. Either go out and practice and try and get more control, or slow it down just a tad, so that you're at least making the batter have to swing a little bit. That'd be my advice. Because I think they threw quite a bit of walks.
Yeah. Mine would be condense your batting order, just because you're batting that's like someone might not even bat for an inning. So I would just try and find who the best batters are, and then condense it to like 2 or 3.
3, I think, at most is the best way to go.
3's probably the best.
3's the best. I think 4, you start getting too much.
Yeah.
No, I don't care how good the batters are. Like, I think you're better off with 3 though, just because the batters get to be more warm.
See, I think 2 batters.
3 or even 2. If you have 2 good
2
ones.
though, it's like 2. It gets tough because then if one of them's really struggling, you can't like insert a third one and you have to like totally swap them out, and then that guy it just gets complicated. I don't know. Anyway,
Did we?
Yeah, we okay. Next team.
no, I didn't say for the record.
No.
Oh.
What was it?
What was it? I had it in mind. Oh, it's I mean, we've talked him up a lot. We gave him the opening game. The expectations are high. I think they just need to remember that they haven't actually won anything yet. Like they need to just come into it like they did last season when they had everything to prove. They're not entitled to, because it'd be real easy for them now to think like, we're somebody in this league. We've got some attention. People think we're going to be good, so we're supposed to be good. So we're going to just be good. It's just going to happen. Like, no, it's not going to. You got to still. They have a tough schedule.
Yeah.
So I think they just got to come in the same way they did before and not get too overconfident.
Yeah. All right, final team is the Mafia. Ty, why don't you start?
Tate Klein, don't get too crazy on that mound. I know you like to throw hard and a lot of junk, but it's kind of out of control sometimes. I think he can be a good pitcher. I really do. But you got to hone it in a little bit. That's fine.
Go ahead.
I would say get another pitcher. Not to start. Tate should be your start. But like you just said, Tate can be wild.
Yeah.
And I think Colby pitched a little bit for the Storm in the
he should not
last
be pitching
tournament.
at all.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was...
Well, the Taylor Yeo kid, but Tate did say when they picked him up that he has no intention of having him pitch at all. So it's really just Tate. That's risky. Yeah, I would definitely go get insurance. I'd fill that fourth roster spot because, I mean, personally, I think the Mafia are going to disappoint. I don't think they're going to be. They have a tough schedule. I don't think they're. I mean, Tate's going to be rusty pitching, but this season for them definitely is living and dying right now, in my opinion, on how well Tate pitches. And I think he's going to disappoint a little bit because if Tate isn't pitching well, they have no other option. So I think you're definitely right with the insurance, getting that. And then the other thing would be if Tate comes out and he is rusty and they're struggling defensively, they're going to need to compensate with that by being smarter with the bats. And Tate specifically is kind of a big swing guy. Tate's not really that efficient of a batter. It's kind of like homers or strikeouts.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is because he doesn't ever just swing for contact. It's always just like swing for the fence. And when he hits it, it's gone.
Yeah.
But I think if they're struggling defensively, they're going to need to make sure they're possessing the time on offense longer. They're putting more pressure on the defense. And so they're going to have to be smarter. I don't know how smart that team plays.
Yeah.
Him and Colby together.
We'll see.
But I think they're going to disappoint.
Okay.
That
That is
there.
that is
Some
it.
win it.
That is all the teams. And that's our advice for all of them, if you care about that or not. Any final thoughts?
Was it good for you guys to be back talking about JL?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, since we've done it for about an hour and a half now. Yeah. Only about, what do you think this is, 15 minutes?
We live to talk more football, people.
Yeah.
Should hear the dinner table. All right, turn it off.